सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Till now, what we have seen is the intellect is the uniqueness of the human being. And without this intellect, the human being's actions, life will not be guided properly. And what is the uniqueness of human being? We have seen as an intellect. What is the need, necessity of the intellect? That also we saw. To resolve the paradox of life and to make the right choices, one needs the intellect. If there were no paradoxes in life, we wouldn't have been needing an intellect. So we all need an intellect. We all need to develop the intellect, strengthen the intellect because of this reason, of the paradox of life. And what are the paradoxes of life? We have seen that already. The paradoxes of life is what you see is not what it is. All that comes natural to a human being is detrimental. All that is evolutionary is through knowledge and effort. And importance of intellect is understood by the intellect. Just as importance of education is understood by the educator. So we need an intellect to resolve the paradoxes of life. Where there are no paradoxes, there is no need for an intellect at all. What are the paradoxes that we are trying to solve, that intellect solves, is the discussion for today. What are those paradoxes that the intellect is trying to sort it out so that our life becomes better, is what we are going to see today. The fundamental paradox of life is peace versus prosperity. A human being is all the time looking for peace and prosperity. Paradox is you lose your peace for that prosperity. In order to acquire prosperity, the mental peace is lost. Or the misunderstanding is you lose the mental peace today, acquire prosperity so that your tomorrow can be happy and peaceful. Isn't it? This is how we have been wrongly taught to live life. What is that? Again, I repeat. Either we are peaceful or prosperous. And human beings' search is these two. We want to be peaceful, at the same time we want to be prosperous. But the very act of becoming prosperous itself, lot of mental peace is lost. And the person is willing to lose that mental peace to acquire prosperity so that you can enjoy the prosperity later. The question is, when is that future? When does that future come? Therefore, it looks like you know that you want both together, and it looks like you can have only one. What is it that you want both? Peace and prosperity. Looks like you have only one. Is there a knowledge? Is there a method by which we can combine both? That technique is called Vedanta. By having a strong intellect, by developing a strong intellect, you would be able to achieve both. And that is what Vedanta is all about, the paradoxes. With this brief introduction about these paradoxes. And this paradox is an observational fact. That's why I always keep saying all that Vedanta talks about starts with facts. And then we try to understand the facts, we try to accept, we try to understand those facts, and we try to work through those facts. And this either prosperity or peace, of the two, you can have only one is an observational fact. Predominantly, if you look at it, the Western world is prosperous. Their amenities, their facilities, their comforts, their prosperity levels is the material advancement is very different. But they themselves accept and agree that they have lost the mental peace. We are not judging, we are not criticizing them, we are not saying they're all wrong or bad. By their own admission, they say that we have lost our mental peace. So what happens? They come here for mental peace, we go there for material prosperity. I think maybe we all meet in Dubai airport, maybe. I don't know where we all meet. We go there and they come here. Here is this knowledge that says how to combine both. It means you have resolved this paradox of life. If you know how to combine these both, it means you have a strong intellect, and by that strong intellect, you have resolved this paradox. The Eastern world is not so prosperous. You go to the village sides, they are not so prosperous, but they are relatively peaceful. But the quality of life in terms of material advancement is poor. So either you can be prosperous and agitated, or poor and be peaceful. It looks like that. It appears to be so. Vedanta comes and says, no, it need not be like that. Why? Because here is a technique by which you can strengthen the intellect, and that strong intellect would be able to resolve this paradox and get you both. What is that? Prosperity and peace. The fundamental paradox. And then what we are going to study today is this. You look at the board, you will see there are a few things listed out. If you look at the board, you can see a few things listed out. Paradox of life, prosperity versus peace. We explained that already. We spoke about that already. Now, to have a better life, to have a quality life, all these 7 aspects has to be attended to. Even if one is missing, life is not complete. So that is why the first column talks about aspect. Aspect means material, physical, action, relationship, knowledge, intellect, religion. We have divided it into 7 aspects, 7 fundamental factors. And these 7 factors, if these 7 aspects are attended to properly, rightly, you live a fulfilled life. You lead a complete life. Now, in this, there is something called as a goal and something called as the means to get to the goal. That's where the middle column, you will see present to focus. The last one talks about the goal of life. I'll explain one by one. You will be able to understand the importance of intellect. how the intellect plays a vital role in all the 7 aspects, so that by this strong intellect, your experiences would be better. And when your experiences are better, life is better. And then we say Vedantic knowledge is the knowledge that makes life and living better. That's how we introduced Vedanta. We introduced Vedanta as the knowledge that makes life and living better. How does it make life and living better? Based on these aspects. First, we will take up material aspect. What is the goal of material aspect? All of us want to increase our quality of life, isn't it? I want to increase my quality of life, and I also want to increase the quality of my life for my family, for my children, for my grandchildren, for the world. So the focus is on materially the quality of life. Sadly, paradoxically, we do something in the present which doesn't give us the quality of life. That's what is the paradox. What do we focus on? We believe that if we raise the standard of living, quality of life will become automatically better. Again, I repeat, we all want a better quality life, and we assume that to have that better quality life, what we need to do? We need to raise the standard of living. And if we raise the standard of living, the assumption is life would be better, quality of life will be better. But then what do we see in practical life? What do we see in practical life is the standard of living goes on increasing, the quality of life doesn't increase. What is standard of living means? Over the last decade, people keep asking me, how is summer in Chennai, sir? How is summer in Chennai? I said, I don't know summer in Chennai. I keep saying, I don't know what summer is in Chennai. How can you, aren't you living in Chennai, sir? Yes, I am living in Chennai. And yet there is no summer in Chennai. How? I get into the car which is air conditioned. I go to the house that is air conditioned. I come to my house and sleep in my bedroom that is air conditioned. Now, where is summer? The standard has increased. The standard of living has increased. The quality of life doesn't increase just because your standard of life has increased. That material aspect, it is missing. That's the paradox. Standard of life goes on increasing, but the quality of life doesn't increase. What is quality of life? It has got nothing to do with the standard of living. It is to do with some understanding about the material aspect. That's where intellect comes. Up to 10th standard, my daughter was going to the school 2 streets away from my house. So when the first bell rings, she can run to the school. That's how close it was. So that she'll have more time to play, etc. She can have friends, more time to play, etc. So I came here deliberately. And then when she came to 11th class 3 years back, I put her in a school about half an hour from my place, where she has to take a public transport and go. And when I told that she has to take a public transport and go to school, lot of furor. How can the girl take public transport and go to school? How can the girl do that? I said, no, she is taking the public transport. And she also didn't like it in the first place. She also didn't like it because you know the public transport, no? By the time you get into the bus, you are so crushed and squeezed and everything. By the time you get out of the bus, you will not feel like getting into the school only. I told her, 3 months you go by this public transport. Still, if you have problem, I will send you by the school bus, because the school bus comes right at the doorstep. Three weeks later, one evening she came back from school and she came straight to me and said, something happened in the bus today. I can't believe it. Something happened in the bus today. I can't believe it. I said, what? Where I live near the wholesale market. The public transport has to pass through the Coimbatore wholesale market and then go to her school. It means when the bus passes through the wholesale market, all the vendors will get into the bus with their big bags and everything. I want her to see all that. I want her to experience all that. She went. The conductor puts luggage. You know that, no? Conductor will put a luggage ticket. It means one ticket for you and one ticket for the bag that you are carrying. It's called luggage ticket. He put that. And that lady is fighting with that conductor, and the ticket is 10 rupees. It's not a million rupees. It is 10 rupees. And for that 10 rupees, she was fighting and she was witnessing that. She came back and told me, oh, I never thought 10 rupees could be so valuable to somebody. This is quality of life. I said, the purpose of you going by public transport is over. Now, however you want to go, you can go. Standard of living versus quality of life at the material level. Are you able to understand the difference? All that we want is the quality of life. But we misunderstand that standard of living will improve the quality of life. Sadly, paradoxically, what do we see? As the standard of living goes on increasing, the quality of life goes on decreasing. Intellect solves this paradox. That's why you need an intellect. It's not that you have to suffer. It's not that you have to get squeezed. It's not that you have to get crushed. It's not all that. It is an understanding. What is understanding? Quality of life has got nothing to do with the standard of living. The first paradox, intellect resolves. The second is physical aspect. When I come to every aspect, I will show the board, don't worry. Now we are coming to the physical aspect. Now, in the physical aspect, at the level of the body, our goals are very clear. What is our goals? All of us want to have a fit physical body, isn't it? Who wants to have a diseased body? The goal is very clear. All of us wants to have a fit physical body. Why? Because a fit physical body is an instrument of perception and action. If my body is fit, my perceptions, my receptivity is better, my actions are better. Therefore, at the physical level, the goal is to have a fit body. Because of lack of intellect, what does people do? Either they keep pampering their body, excess identification with the body, either they pamper and they become lazy, or they identify with the body excessively. As a result of which, what happens? They end up not having a fit body. You need an intellect to resolve this also. Again, I repeat. Ooh, nobody likes to have an unfit body. All of us want to have a fit body. If you get up, if you sit, you don't have to tell the next person, wait. it will take 2 minutes for me to get up. You don't want to say that. No. You want to get up, you want to get up. You don't want to, you want to be fit. How does fitness come? Not by pampering the senses, nor excessively identifying with the body. Pampering the senses means what? You have a full lunch. After having a full lunch, at 4 o'clock, you visit somebody's house. And when you visit somebody's house, they give you tea and samosa. They welcome you with tea and samosa. And you see samosas nowadays, no? Samosas nowadays is like football. One samosa is like one football it is. Previously, what we used to have as Chennai samosas, they are selling it nowadays. In Madras, we used to have Chennai samosa. Nothing will be in it. Just 2 pieces of dried onions in it, that's all. Other than that, there will be nothing in that samosa. You have such a big, and then the person says, you have had a stomach full lunch. You are not at all hungry. And the person says, eat. And you also say, I can't hurt that person by saying no, sir. Therefore, I eat. So, not wanting to hurt that person, you end up hurting. You end up hurting yourself. At the level of the body, this is how we pamper. What we like, we take. What we dislike, we disregard. That is why most of the diseases nowadays, they started calling it as lifestyle diseases. What do you mean by lifestyle disease? You are living life wrongly. As a result of that wrong style of living, you got this disease. That's what it means. Lifestyle diseases. Now, why do you do that? Why does anybody do it? Because of not having a powerful intellect. Because of not having a powerful intellect. So even if you want to have a fit body, it is important to have a strong intellect. So at the material level, you need an intellect. At the material level, you need an intellect. At the body level, you need an intellect. The third aspect is action, work. When we go to work, we want to be motivated, inspired. We want to go with lot of energy into action, work. Action must generate energy. Action must be invigorating. Invigorating means motivating, inspiring. So we all want to work with this attitude. We all want to work with this, the goal. What is the goal of action? I don't want to complain. I don't want to feel fatigued, tired. I should have energy to work. At the same time, I should be enthused, invigorating. Paradoxically, what do? We do something the opposite, which saps the energy, makes us get bored. Are you able to follow? We do something so paradoxically. Opposite that energies are sapped, boredom sets in. Energies are sapped means one of the persons in Chennai we met long back for some work. He was helping us with some building diagrams and all that. So I still remember that conversation with him so vividly. He told me, Arvindan, diagram, all this architectural diagrams and all that, we'll see later. But I have a question to ask. I said, what? I wake up tired. What do I do? The question that he's asking is, I wake up tired. What do I do? What answer can you give to that person? Go back to sleep. What else you can say? Waking up itself is tiring because you wake up and you have the whole day to work, and the thought that you have to work the whole day itself causes fatigue, boredom, saps energy. Even before the person gets into the office, the person is tired. That's why Swamiji in all his discourses, he keeps saying, why do you need an hourly coffee break? Why do you need something to energize yourself at the end of the day? Why do you need a weekend? Why do you need a vacation? You may think all this is nice to hear, sir, but practically and all it doesn't work. Practically and all it doesn't work, sir. You may think it is nice to talk, nice to hear. How does it? Is it practical? Before the lecture started, I don't know how many of you were there before we started the session. We showed the Vedanta Academy. We showed the Vedanta Academy. And I'm a product of that academy. Don't judge the academy looking at me. Yeah? I am one of the worst products of that. There are much, much better products of that institution. I am one of the worst products of that institution. So don't look at me and judge that place. The most wonderful thing about that place is no weekends, no vacations, no holidays. No summer break, no winter break. 3-year course. For 3 years, we don't take any break. No holidays, no vacation. But it will be so torturous, no, sir. So suffocating, no, it will be. How people survive. Swamiji as a challenge, he throws it. Right? Wherever he goes, he throws it up as a challenge. Keep saying, even if one student asks for a break, we will close down, he says. And till date, no student will ask for a holiday break. They will say, let us go home for a week and come back. Not that we are not allowed to go. Not that we can't go. It's not all that. You are taught, you are trained into this third aspect. What? You can be in action continuously and you need not get tired. It's a training. It takes 3 years. You don't get tired, you don't get bored. Obviously, you will get physically tired. Please understand that. Obviously, you will get physically tired. And when you get physically tired, it's easy, no? What is the solution when you get tired or physically? Sleep. Exactly correct, Manas. Correct. Correct. Simply sleep. And you wake up fresh. Unlike my friend who told me in Chennai, you wake up tired, what do you do? Tired. You wake up tired, what do you do? Paradox. We want to be in action. All of us want to be active. All of us say no. At some stage in life, you ask everybody, what is your goal in life? I just want to be active till the last moment and I die. Yeah, I don't want to be in the bed. I don't want to do this. I want to be in action all the time. Action is the insignia of life. Action is the symbol of life. Inactivity is death. Inactivity is death. And how do you do this? You need a powerful intellect. And that powerful intellect would guide your action, would guide your work, so that there will be more you act, more energetic you become. Just as more you run, more you can run. Correct? More you run, more you can run. More you lift weights, more you can lift weights. This is the law of life. You need an intellect to resolve this paradox. What is a paradox? You want to be active, at the same time you don't want to get bored, at the same time you don't want to get fatigued, tired. If we do the work that which I like, it will sort it out. No, people misunderstand. People think that if you do that which you like, you will never get bored. Intellect la vana, sir. We don't need intellect and all for this. All that we need to do is what? Do the work that which you like to do. You will be energetic. You will never get boredom and all. But then what is wrong in this advice? Why it doesn't work? Why it doesn't work? Because your likes and dislikes itself keeps changing. Second is what is known as, nowadays they call midlife crisis. They call as midlife crisis. Suddenly at 45, the person says, I will do organic farming. At 55, I will do cow protection. I'm not saying we should not do all that. Please, we are not against it. We are not saying you shouldn't do all that. Why we want to drop one activity and take up another activity? That's what we are discussing. Because of lack of energy. And here is an intellect that would help you to have this energy. The third aspect. The fourth aspect of the importance of intellect comes in is relationships. The fourth important aspect. As I told you last week itself, it goes in the order of subtlety. Yeah? First we started with material, and then we came to physical, and then we came to action, work. Now we are discussing relationship. What is the goal of relationship? Harmony. Isn't it? What is the goal of relationship? Not to divorce, not to fight, not to run away. No. What is the goal of relationship? The goal of relationship is to be in harmony. And we do something exactly the opposite that takes the harmony away. You need an intellect to resolve this paradox at the level of the relationship. Again, I repeat. All of us want to get into relationships because of we want harmony. Paradoxically, what do? We do something which takes the harmony away. What is it that we paradoxically do? Have full of expectations. We get into a relationship with full of expectations, and that expectations takes the harmony away. We get into it with full of expectations, and this expectation takes the harmony away. And what is expectations? Expectation is wanting the other to behave distinct and different from their nature. That is expectation. Again, I repeat. What is an expectation? Expectation means wanting the other person to behave distinct and different from their own nature. And these expectations always fails. And why these expectations always fail is because nobody is obliged to cater to your expectations. Nobody is obliged to cater to your expectations. Nobody can afford to cater to your expectations. Why? Because expectations means you do not know what you want. Again, I repeat. Expectation means you don't know what you want. When you rightly assess the relationships around you, when you have the right assessment, right understanding, expectations goes away. When expectation goes away, harmony comes in. This is how it works. Intellect comes and says, in a relationship, you need to clip your expectations. But sir, how can we live life without expectations? Some minimum expectations will be there, no sir. Yeah, correct. We all agree, sir, that over expectations we should not have. But at least some minimum expectations. How can you live life without expectations? Maximum expectations, maximum disharmony. Minimum expectations, minimum disharmony. No expectations, complete harmony. That's how it works. Again, I repeat. Maximum expectations, maximum disharmony. Minimum expectations, minimum disharmony. No expectations, no disharmony, means harmony. Intellect comes and says, why are you having this expectation? Why can't you understand and accept the other as they are? And why do you want them to behave distinct and different from their nature? Why do you want to do that? By intellect educating you in this manner brings about a harmony in relationships. And today, work saps energy, relationship saps energy. Yes, sir, that we know, sir. In pandemic, it has become more. Previously, I was waiting for all of us to be together. Now I am waiting when all of us will go out of the house in the morning and come back to house in the night only to sleep. Why? More and more together means more and more affection is not increasing. Love is not increasing. What a blessed time this pandemic, no? What a blessed time this pandemic is to develop affection and oneness and identification within the family. Because where do you get a chance like this? Where the office will say, don't come to office. Where the school will say, don't come to school. Yeah, where are they going to say? Where the government is going to say, don't come out, sit in your house and enjoy. And we are all waiting to, why? Because there is no harmony. Intellect is that which teaches you how to bring about the harmony in the relationships. And how does it bring? By clipping the expectations. By educating you on the futility of having those expectations, and by clipping those expectations, the harmony comes. The fifth aspect where knowledge is required. The fifth aspect where knowledge is required, where intellect is required, is knowledge. We all want to have knowledge. Everybody needs knowledge. Even the richest person wants his children to get educated, isn't it? The goal of life is true knowledge. Paradoxically, we have misunderstood academic literacy as knowledge. Again, the paradox. Again, I repeat. Knowledge is the goal of life. At the material level, quality of life is the goal of life. At the physical level, a fit body is the goal of life. At the action level, energetic in action is the goal of life. At the relationship level, harmony is the goal of life. At the level of knowledge, what is the goal of life? True education is the goal of life. Paradoxically, we have misunderstood academic literacy as education. Academic literacy is mere intelligence. Academic literacy is mere intelligence. Intelligence means you are well informed in one or more subjects. That intelligence doesn't lead you to true education. And what is true education? What is the definition of true education? In the book Vedanta Treatise, Swamiji quotes Huxley, the great thinker. He defines what true education is. What is true education? Huxley says, education is the ability to do a thing when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. This is the effect of true education. Again, I repeat, what is true education? Education is the ability to do a thing when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. I don't like to exercise. I like to laze around, even though the person understands how exercises are important. I'm just giving one example. What is true education is the capacity to do a thing when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. That is the effect of true education. Sadly, paradoxically, academic literacy, intelligence is misunderstood as education. That is where you find more and more and more you get educated, more and more the ego is becoming strong. There is this thing called family court, isn't it? See, where there is family, there is no need for a court. Where there is court, there is no family. It is very clear, isn't it? And yet they call it as family court. I have been there many a times. I have been to those family courts many a times. Not because my marriage is in trouble. Huh? My marriage is perfectly all right. My marriage is not in trouble at all. Somebody goes through the problem, I have to go there to help them out, sort it out, to talk to the lawyer, I go. Who are the people who are educated there? Who are the people who are fighting there? All the educated. This is the effect of education. What is the effect of education? Go to the family court, take a divorce and come. We are not saying don't take divorces, sir, please. We are not against it. That is individual's choices. We are not talking about it as a right. We are using it as an example to communicate what? Have you ever observed this paradox in life? Observe this. At least for 1 week, you can observe this. Exercise for 1 week. Actually, I wanted to give exercises from last week itself, but then too much to start giving exercises. So from today onwards, weekly exercises will start. By the time we come to the 10th session, only I will be there, the board will be there. Nobody else will be, because too much of exercises to do, sir. And don't worry, if you don't do the exercises, still you will be admitted to the next classroom. I will not check whether you have done it or not. It is for you to do it yourself and know it for yourself, not to tell me. So what is the exercise? Observe it for 1 week. Per se, the man is good. Per se, the lady is also good. Per se, the man is also good. Per se, the lady is also good. How come when two good people get together, relationship goes bad? Both are good. Per se, the man is good. Per se, the lady is also good. Paradoxically, what is happening? See, when two good people get together, what should be the quality of the relationship? Good, no? Isn't it? Logically speaking. But then sadly, what do you observe? Two good people get together, relationship alone goes bad, and one blames the other. Vedanta comes and says, it is because you don't have a proper intellect. If you have strengthened your intellect by the study and reflection on these principles of life, you wouldn't have this problem. What is it? At the level of the knowledge, we all want to get educated. Paradoxically, we misunderstand academic literacy as education. That's why Swamiji gives this example. All the parents are so interested in sending the children, finding out the best school, finding out the best university, finding out the best school in this country, finding out the best school in abroad, finding out the best university in this country, finding out the best university abroad, and wanting their children to go there, study, academic literacy, they gain intelligence. What do they learn and come back? They learn only two things: how to divorce, how to complain. Don't get angry at me, yeah? Get angry at the teacher who's saying this. I'm only repeating what he is. Knowledge, academic literacy, true education. The sixth one is intellect itself. The sixth one is the intellect itself. What is the intellect itself? At the level of the intellect, we all want that original thinking. And we all want our mind to be under control. What is the goal of the intellect? Goal of intellect is to have this original thinking. You can call it original thinking, you can call it creativity, you can call it thinking out of the box, anything you can say. All that means is the goal of life is to have original thinking. The goal of life is to have the mind under control. You need an intellect for that. And paradoxically, even at the level of the intellect, what people do? They follow what is known as herd instinct. They follow what is known as herd instinct, and they continuously serve the mind. They pamper the mind, they serve the mind. Now, what is herd instinct? One person does it and the whole lot follows. In the very first session, we saw herd instinct. Remember that 1,500 sheep committing suicide example? No animal want to commit suicide. One person does it and the whole lot does it. That is called herd instinct. In the 60s and 70s, my father used to say, in the 60s and 70s, everybody must study BCom, isn't it? And then when I was in school, when I was finishing school, engineering. Everybody must do engineering. And then in 2000, everybody must do what? Software. Now nobody wants to go to software engineering. No? Why? Software engineering na kalyaname amattens. We say the boys are software, na nobody, they're not getting married at all. Third instinct. Something you follow because it is done by the whole lot. And then how can you expect the person to think originally? That is why when they go to work and when the office asks you to think originally, the person will turn back and say, this is out of syllabus. We were never taught this in the university. You are only taught to study, by heart, repeat, get that marks and come out. Where is this original thinking? We are not blaming the schools. We are not blaming the universities for that. Why? Because intellect is that which you got to develop by yourself. And here is this knowledge which teaches you how to strengthen the intellect. And the last one is religion. And the last one is religion. The goal of religion is to inquire what life is all about. The goal of religion is to make us a better human being. Sadly, today, we feel better if religion wasn't there. Because if not all the problems, most of the problems is because of the religion. What is the purpose of religion? The purpose of religion is to inquire, is to promote your inquiry as to what life is all about. Evolve, make your life better, is to make your life better and better. That is the goal of life. Paradoxically, what do we do? Either we mechanically follow, blind following, or reject it without inquiry. One set rejected without inquiring, another set mechanically follows it. As a result of which, the most important aspect of life, that is religion, which helps us to inquire, which helps us to evolve, paradoxically has become the cause for all the misery. If not all religions, if not all religions, if not all wars, most of the wars are fought in the name of religion, isn't it? If humanity has fought 100 wars till now, 98 will be of religion. The discovery of sciences happened because of what? You know that, no? The discovery of sciences happened because of what? To bomb, to kill. Highways were built initially. Roads were built initially. For what? Not for two lovers to meet, not for two affectionate people to meet. The highways were built. Roads were built for what? So that the troops can be marshaled faster, sooner. And all religions talks about peace. All religion talks about love. All religion talks about peace. And all wars are fought in the name of religion. All slaughtering happens in the name of religion. Paradoxical it is. So it is better that we don't have such a religion. It's better that maybe humanity would have been better minus that kind of a religion. And yet, religion is an important aspect of human beings' life. The subtlest aspect of human beings' life is religion. Why? Because religion is that which develops the spirit of self-enquiry. The purpose of religion is to develop the spirit of self-enquiry, is to make you evolve into a better human being. Paradoxically, first thing that happens in religion is what? No inquiry, no question should be asked, isn't it? No question should be asked. Or if any questions is asked, that is considered blasphemous, sacrilegious. In the regular classes that we do, most of the time, if not all the classes, most of the classes are spent in answering questions. In Vedanta, promotes questioning. Vedanta promotes questioning, thinking, asking, analyzing. Why? Because in this spirit of inquiry alone, you can grow. Intellect can grow. By stifling the thinking, you cannot evolve. And Vedanta explores avenues to open up your thinking. That's why if you see, all Vedantic literature will be in the form of question and answer. If you have observed, all Vedantic literature will be in the form of question and answer. It will never be a monologue lecture like how we are doing now. 10 o'clock we start. Om Sahana Bhavatu, I start. Till 11 o'clock without catching a breath. Non-stop, we can all. This is not how it is taught. This is not how it is done. It is done through questioning. More the questioning, more the thinking, more the evolution. And religion is that which promotes the fundamental questioning. What is the fundamental questioning? The fundamental questioning about the self-enquiry. What does self-enquiry means? Who am I? What is this life? Though I want peace, security, happiness, paradoxically, whatever I do is taking away my peace and security and happiness. What is the way out of this? All this is the subject matter of religion, inquiry, evolve. Sadly, religion today has reduced itself to a set of superstitious belief, blind faith, and mechanical rituals. That's why any thinking person doesn't want to come into religion at all, because first thing that you are told in religion is don't question. Why? I don't know the answer. No. If I don't know the answer, I will not tell you I don't know the answer. I will say ask intelligent question. Have you ever observed it? A child will come and ask you some question. The parent will not know the answer. And what will the parent say immediately? Instead of saying I don't know, the parent will say, don't ask dumb questions, ask intelligent questions. And according to the parent, what is intelligent question? How do I increase my bank balance? Now, what an intelligent question. If any child were to ask this question, how do I increase my bank balance? That is the most intelligent. Vedanta comes and says, you cannot avoid religion at all, because it is the subtlest aspect of the human being, which belongs to the category of the subtle intellect. And don't worry, from next week we are going to see mind and intellect. What is mind? What is intellect? This is a preamble talking about the importance of intellect. From the next session, we will talk about the mind, we will talk about the intellect, and then the two types of intellect, the gross intellect, the subtle intellect. All that religion got to deal with is the subtle intellect. You need to have a subtle intellect. It's not that you need to have a subtle intellect. Subtle intellect is there already, the potential. You need to strengthen it. You need to develop it. And religion is the subject. Vedanta is the, when I say religion means Vedanta, Vedanta is the subject that is exclusively designed to strengthening the subtle intellect. Just as mathematics, sciences are subjects that is exclusively designed to strengthen gross intellect. Vedanta is the science. Vedanta is the science and the subject that is exclusively designed to the development of the subtle intellect. And using the subtle intellect, you inquire, you evolve. Paradoxically, what is happening today? In the name of religion, inquiry is not allowed, questioning is not allowed. One of the great Vedantic thinkers this country has produced, Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. He says, what is religion? Religion in India is very easy, he said. Religion in India is very easy. Why? Because the entire religion is confined to the kitchen, he said. The entire religion in India is confined to the kitchen. Meaning, what to cook, what not to cook, and in which vessel to cook. That's all. And that is not the goal of religion. I am not saying that. I am quoting Vivekananda. He says, the purpose of religion is to inquire, is to evolve. Paradoxically, it does exactly the opposite. To summarize, what do we understand? You need an intellect to resolve the paradoxes of life. You need an intellect to resolve these paradoxes of life, and life is divided into the 7 stages. Sapta, 7 stages it is divided into. What is it? Material, physical, work, relationship, knowledge, intellect, religion. Even if one is missing, you will not have a complete life. Are you able to follow? Even of the 7, even if one is missing, you will not have a complete life. Vedanta, the intellect says, attend to all the 7 so that you have a complete, fulfilled life. It means you need a strong, powerful intellect. Why develop the intellect? That is the question we are answering. Why develop the intellect? To resolve these paradoxes so that you can have a complete life, fulfilled life. And what is the role of the intellect? The role of the intellect is to guide the mind into action. It means we need to know what mind is and what intellect is. The next session, we are going to look at the definitions of what mind is and what intellect is. And then from the following sessions, we will see the practical applications of those definitions. With this, we conclude the session for today. Is there any clarifications? If there are clarifications, we can take it up.
Yeah, my name is Loganathan. I'm from Chennai. This is my first session.
Okay. Yes.
So I don't know what happened earlier.
Yeah.
So my question may be answered earlier, but still I will ask that to clarify myself. Is it okay for the?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please.
You said the 7 things, aspect of life.
Yes.
Physical, material, action, relation.
Okay.
Is it not same as the basic needs of the people, like Abraham Maslow's
Yes.
needs? It's almost same.
Yes.
Very basic, where we require the materialist
Yes.
stuff.
Exactly
And
correct.
we got security, and
Yes.
we got crowd need, status need, self-actualization. Almost
Yes.
same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly the same. But you said that the goal of life,
Yes.
which is fitness, quality of life, harmony, and governing of mind, evaluation, the
Yes.
things.
Yes.
What is the goal of all these things? Question number one.
The
What
goal
are, by
yes.
achieving all these things, with removing all the paradox,
Yes.
what we are trying to achieve at the end?
Yes. Why do we call this as goal of life? Means
Yeah.
the end. Goal means the end.
Yeah.
When I say I want to make wealth, is wealth the end? Is wealth the goal? No. If wealth is the goal, I should be happy having the bank balance. Wealth is not the goal. So through wealth, I can get something. So wealth becomes the means to a goal. That is the quality of life. I'm not able to hear you.
We got individual goals for each phase of life, like physical, etc.,
Yes.
etc.
Correct.
But ultimately, all together, all the goals when achieved individually.
That is the second question. That is the second question.
Yeah,
the ultimate purpose of all these goals is, as I said, concluded by saying the inquiry, the self-inquiry.
Yeah, that leads to. Yeah, will it leads to the happiness at every stage?
Yes. Only when there is happiness at every stage, that happiness will give me the contentment and the courage to go into the next stage.
Yeah, but without fulfilling one stage, can we go to the next one?
No, it is not possible.
It's not possible. So we have to fulfill everything at every stage.
Yes, you have to. You can't without. You cannot.
That's
It's
true.
like I want to inquire about who am I, but I am obese, overweight, can't even sit properly. What can I do? So it means everything. It means one is the preparation to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, and we finally hit it. So sequentially we grow.
Yeah, but in this case, the opportunity and the experience, how it will vary your thinking, because we evolve ourselves by reading, by experiencing, by learning, by guiding. So all these things will change your idea of life, every stage of life.
Correct.
So that will tune your thinking also.
Yes.
So
I'm
in
not
that
able to
case,
follow. What is the question?
the question is, when we are continuously evolving, whether we can have a fixed idea of life on this way, when we are,
Given point of time,
somebody else, yeah, if somebody else comes up and says something else,
at
completely other than yours.
yes,
So we will experience. For example, my role model is my father, who is highly uneducated, who cannot even read one alphabet.
correct.
But he doesn't know what is happiness. He doesn't know what is self-actualization or inquiry. Nothing he knows about it. Still, he is my father, and he is my role model. He works continuously, as you said. He never tires of his work.
Exactly.
He
Correct.
never feels bored. Also,
No, I'm not able to
but
understand
how,
what is the question.
the question is how he is able to identify without learning anything. How he is able to, without
Now,
any education, without
now,
anything.
now you are bringing in an example where it was inculcated culturally. It was inculcated, these practices were inculcated culturally, so people were overall, they were imbibing it. Today we are in a situation where this has to be taught. There is a difference. There is a difference. So the difference that we are facing today is we are not taught about the glory of work. We are not taught about the importance of sacrifice. We are not taught about the importance of giving. We are taught the importance of competition, stamping one over the other. Therefore, we are in a situation today where we got to go from the basics. 150 years back, 100 years back, it wasn't so bad. Now it is that bad. That's the difference. A person need not come to this knowledge. A person need not come to this classroom to know all this. We never said that. A person, if every family imbibes it in their culture, the entire society will be in a better place. In that way, we are discussing it. Conviction would have been better. Conviction will be better if it is done with understanding, and the understanding will take you to the next level. And please understand, Loknathan sir, goal of life is not fixed by the other. Nature itself keeps pushing you towards that goal. That's why we call it as a goal. It is not that Vedanta is saying do this. Vedanta is saying that is what you are naturally seeking, and here is the method by which you can achieve it. It is two opposite things we are discussing. One is, I am saying this should be your goal in life. Another thing is to say that which you are seeking it naturally, universally, what every human being is seeking. They are not told to seek peace. They are not told to seek security. They are not told to seek happiness. All human beings are naturally seeking peace, naturally seeking security, naturally seeking happiness. The question is, what can give you that permanently? That's the question. That's what we are discussing here. Any other questions?
If you can ask other people, because I'm asking too many questions being first person.
Yeah.
No,
No problem. No problem.
I will, last question is,
Yes.
I will
Yes.
finish with the last question. If the situation and circumstances changes,
Yes.
will your methodology is going to be the same for all the time?
Intellect
Now
and
you said,
having the intellect,
yeah,
having the intellect and strengthening the intellect is the methodology that will not change at all, because human being in the past, human being in the present, human being in the future will have only an intellect. That will not change. Therefore, The language may change, the examples may change, but the teaching that you got to strengthen your intellect, that will not change. In the past, in the present, in the future. Because a human being has only three instruments: the body, the mind, the intellect. As long as the human being has only, maybe in the future, if he is born with the fifth instrument, we don't know. That is hallucination. As long as human beings are there and the human being has these three instruments, the body, the mind, and intellect, in the past, message is strengthen the intellect. In the present, message is strengthen the intellect. In the future also, the message would be strengthen your intellect. What will change? I fully agree with you. What will change? The examples will change. The vocabulary will change. Every generation will come up with new terms. Every generation will come up with new terminologies. That will change. But the fundamental principle will not change. What is the fundamental principle? The goal is to strengthen the intellect. That will not change. Because a human being has to strengthen the intellect, past, present, future. That will not change. Any other clarifications? If there is no other clarifications, we conclude the session for today and we continue next week, starting with the definitions of what mind is and what intellect is. Thank you.